Hey, greetings everyone, it's GleeCon, and I'm back here again with another episode of Lore of Warcraft. Thank you so much for tuning in. On our last episode, we took Glee Console here. She's our Horde character that we're doing a full classic walkthrough with, and she's continuing to plug along through Mulgore, and she's made some decent progress. We're getting pretty close. As you can see, she's level 10. Today's episode is going to take a little divergence because we have to look at all the level 10 character quests, so stay a while and listen as we do that. Because that was one thing that I wanted to do with us. So we've obviously covered all the paladin quests already. She has some shaman quests that she can do. But let's really look at the spreadsheet here. So we've got a little talking ahead of us. So we'll look at the class quests, and we're just going to go in order. They all have something, so we'll start with Druid. So Relics of the Tauren / Relics of the Kaldrai. Relics of the Tauren. So we'll go ahead and look in Wowhead for Relics of the Tauren. So this is a season of discovery quest. So whoopsie, that might be a mistake. I don't know that that's actually true. Because relics of that shouldn't be in there. All right, so that cool. We can go to the relics of the Tauren and Kaldrai. We can just delete that because that's a season of discovery quest only. So let's go ahead and delete all of these and shift up. Delete cells and shift up. So heeding the call. Let's look for that one instead. Heeding the call. Okay, so this is a Druid quest that you can pick up from Horde or Alliance. And yeah, so there we go. So if you look at the quests, it's a chain that goes from Heeding the Call to Moonglade, Great Bear Spirit, back to Darnassus or Thunder Bluff, and then Body and Heart. So it's a 5-step quest. We will read the Alliance version, and then we'll read the Horde version. Or yeah, I guess so. All right, so the first one's picked up in Darnassus. It says, "Excuse me, my friend, it has come to my attention that Mathrangil Bearwalker has put out word that he wishes to speak with you. It seems that your training as a druid is about to take on a new life, and he will be training you personally. Mathrangil is the direct assistant to the Archdruid himself and is one of the most sage and august druids you'll find in Teldrassil. He is located in the Cenarian enclave of Darnassus on the 2nd floor of Fandral Staghelm's tree." On completion, it says, "I'm glad you found your way here, young druid. The time has come for you to take a large step into a much larger world. Inside each of Cenarius' children is the call to serve nature. Animals and plants are our friends as well as our charges. We choose to devote our lives as preservers of balance for their sakes as well as our own. Your first step into this world will be to learn the ways of the bear and to learn strength of body and heart. So at 10, what do druids get? They get to become a bear." Okay, then there's the Moonglade quest. So you use the spell Teleport Moonglade, and you will go to talk to Dendrite Starblaze in Nighthaven, the druid town. "All druids are welcome in the sacred lands of Moonglade, regardless of the current tensions in the Cenarian circle between Archdruid Staghelm and Keeper Remulos, Moonglade's guardian. Now that you're learning the ways of the Claw, I'll teach you the spell that lets you transport yourself there. Cast it whenever you seek Moonglade's knowledge or solace. For your first lesson, travel to Moonglade and speak with Dendrite Starblaze in Nighthaven about the path you're on now. Good luck, young druid." You'll use this a lot more as a Tauren because the Horde kind of screws you. You can only learn Tauren druid stuff from Thunder Bluff or Moonglade, whereas with Alliance, you can learn it from Teldrassil, Moonglade, or Stormwind. Much more convenient. On completion, he says, "And so it begins, Father Cenarius, and so it begins." Dendrite makes a quick invisible gesture in the air above him. A slight aura of power falls over him. "The first perspective of nature you must adapt to is that of the bear. I will put you on the path to understanding this aspect of druidic life, but it is you that must embrace it and propagate it, now and forever." Now, these might be the same whether you're Alliance or Horde. Okay, so Great Bear Spirit, he wants you to seek out the spirit in Moonglade and find out what he has to share with you about the nature of the bear. "In the northwest part of Moonglade resides the home of a wise and noble being we call the Great Bear Spirit." They show this picture there. "For all druids, it has served as a tutor and mentor into the first true natural understanding of the bear. All druids at one point seek the spirit's wisdom, and you shall be no exception. Go to the Great Bear Spirit now and learn what it will teach. When it is satisfied with you, return to me here in Nighthaven. We will then see if you have truly taken account of the lessons it teaches. Return only when the Great Bear Spirit has released you back unto me. Your training cannot continue without its blessing. Dendrite makes another invisible gesture in the air above him as you approach. Another aura of power comes over him, and he smiles ever so slightly. I sense wisdom in you, young one. That was not present when we first met. You gaze upon me with strength and knowing intent. Though his intent is not yet focused, you will now learn to focus your strength and adopt the nature of the bear into your work. Now, it doesn't say here what he says to you. He does give you a couple comments, and unfortunately we will miss that part, but the bear spirit does address that. And then you get to go back to Darnassus. The time has come for us to part ways, young one, as the application of your lessons takes you back to whom that sent you to me. Mathrengil Bearwalker walks truly in balance with nature, even as he dwells precariously close to where the balance has faltered. Listen to his instructions, and you will soon complete your first lessons in your role as a protector of balance. Go now, young one, we shall meet again. Welcome back. I sense that your first meeting with the Great Bear Spirit is the same as it is with all druids when they first start down the path of the claw. A little bewildering, but very intense. I know it was that way with me. The Great Bear Spirit has been a part of Azeroth as long as Azeroth has existed in the heavens. We have come to rely on its wisdom and its power to fuel our purpose. The time has come now for your first test of this purpose. Listen closely. And finally, body and heart, where you will speak with him and face Lunaclaw and learn the strength of body and heart it possesses. I guess he will go and use this Cenarian moon dust on the Moonkin stone, and then you must face Lunaclaw. Maybe that's a battle you fight. Directly east of Auberdine lay many Moonkin caves. The one closest to Auberdine has a Moonkin stone inside it. Yeah, so you must go out into Teldrassil. Lunaclaw, the defender of the stone, will face you only when Cenarian moondust is applied to it. Lunaclaw possesses within it a strength that you must use as one of the claw. You've earned the right to use the Cenarian moongust. Now, show me that you've earned the right to possess the strength of body and the strength of heart needed as a druid. When you face the challenge that lies before you, your understanding of strength of body and strength of heart will be fully realized. Until that time, I cannot help you further. You have finally taken your large step into a much larger world. I sense the teaching of the Great Spirit within you, and I sense that you have received the strength that Lunaclaw possessed. There are no further obstacles in your way. Let me now teach you what it means to be a druid of the claw. Dope. Okay, so now we'll go back and see, is there any difference in what the Horde experience? So heeding the claw from the Horde starts with Turok Rune Totem in Elder Rise of Thunder Bluff. He begins by saying, "Excuse me, friend. It has come to my attention that Turok Rune Totem has put out word that he wishes to speak with you. It seems that your training as a druid is about to take on a new life, and he will be training you personally. Turok is one of the Archdruid's assistants. He is known as a wise and patient druid, and he should teach you well. He is located in Thunder Bluff inside the Cenarian Circle's main tent on the Elder Rise. I'm glad you found your way here today, young druid. The time has come for you to take a large step into a much larger world. Inside each of Cenarius' children is the call to serve nature. Animals and plants are our friends as well as our charges. We choose to devote our lives as preservers of balance for their sakes as well as our own. Your first step into this world would be to learn the ways of the bear and to learn strength of body and heart. Ready yourself." Okay, and it says it unlocks lessons anew. Now, lessons anew, if you look, that actually doesn't begin until 14, so we won't be reading that chain, but you must complete this, just in case you were wondering. You must complete this chain if you want to be able to get your level 14 skill, which is a poison cure. So the next step is Moonglade, same as before. All druids are welcomed to the sacred lands of Moonglade. Looks like it's pretty much the same words. And yeah, so same words when he receives you, and then it looks like it's the same words, yeah, for that quest, so nothing to change. Then back to Thunder Bluff. He says, "The time has come for us to part ways, young one, as the application of your lessons takes you back to..." Yeah, so same first sentence. "Though Tauren are thought to be young in the ways of Cenarius, Turok Rune Totem walks with much balance in the presence of nature. Listen to his instructions, and you will soon complete your first lessons into your role as the protector of balance. Go now, wish we meet again. Welcome back. I sense that your first meeting with the Great Bear Spirit, a little bewildering. So, same words. The Great Bear Spirit has been a part of Azeroth as long as Azeroth has existed in the heavens. We Tauren listen closely to such spirits. We all prosper from its purpose. Now the time has now come for the first test of this purpose. Listen closely, and then body and heart. So the only thing that's different is that on land west of Tarajo in the Barrens, just before it turns into Mulgore, lies a Moonkin stone. So it's right past the border. The Moonkin are special beasts, not native to these parts. Lunaclaw, so it's not a bear, it's a Moonkin. I thought that was a chance. The stone's defender will face you when Cenarian lunar dust is applied to it. Lunaclaw possesses within it a strength that you must use as one of the claw. You've earned the right to use a Cenarian lunar dust. Now show me you've earned the right to possess the strength of body and the strength of heart needed as a druid. Same progress text. And then you have finally taken your large step. Yeah, I sense the yada, yada, yada. There's no further obstacles. Let me now teach you what it means to be a druid of claw. So very, very, very similar for that whole thing. Just a couple little tiny nuggets. All right, now at 10, hunters of the least class quests out of everyone. Druids actually have a pretty small amount also. If you look at the things here, I would say actually priests. Priests in a way have the least, but theirs are so race specific in the beginning that item wise they have more. But for any one individual character, they have the least. With hunters very close behind that and druids not far behind that. Medium length ones, shaman, they start out with a lot, but once they get lazy with air, and then there's really not that much past it. And then if you look, mages, paladins have a decent amount, and warriors have a little bit more than that. And then rogues actually have a solid amount, but it's because theirs are so weird. It's because they really don't have that much. It's the fact that unlike all the others, like priests or whatever, they have all these different racial versions of their power, but they're not mutually exclusive. So you can actually follow the different paths with them and get the same rewards, even though, like, for instance, one of them gives you a rogue dagger. You can't use two of them, but you can get two of them. And then it's not even a question. Warlocks quests, it's redonkulous. They have so many quests to get gear, quests for all their demons. So warlocks it's just a whole other world for them. You can get an extra couple levels of questing for warlocks. It's really a pain if you're trying to be a completionist. All right, so let's continue on. We'll now look at the hunters. We'll get the hunter's path, followed with them taming their beasts. And that's it. They don't get anything else until a tiny little nug at 50. They barely get anything. Learn how to tame your pet. So we're going to look at the hunter's path. So that would be our next one. The hunters. Now, the good thing is it really doesn't change that much. But the problem is each race does have a different one. They're just called the same thing. So if we look at the hunter's path, we have the night elf version of it. So we're going to look at them all. So this will actually take us a little bit of time to read. So let's go ahead and pop back in for a second here and just, maybe we'll do, I know we also have a tiny minuscule amount. We have to be, we haven't picked our power yet either. So why don't we do that? Well, that's what we'll do. So we'll say classic resto shaman talents. That'll be our one small break here. All right, so if you look at it, we can actually bop 2 over just because I want to see a shaman leveling guide, but if they don't level us as resto, it really doesn't matter. But let's look at the end game. So if you look at, we have deep restoration versus enhancing totems versus improved weapon totems. So questing, they only want you to pick up the 1 heal. None of these match that. So that means we can throw out the leveling unless you want to pay for a respec, which we're not going to do. So deep resto is what we're doing with Muln. So we could try to pick a different path. So let's see what it says. So deep resto is just the highest healing potential of all. but does so at the cost of support. It is the favored build if you were in a caster group. There you go. Enhancing totems trades out some of these things. But you have to have melee or hunters, or these totems are not going to really get increased in the same way. You get more preference points to spread throughout, whereas improved weapon totems, it allows you. It says it's the trade-off is worth taking in a vacuum, which gives me better soloing abilities. It allows me to use Nightfall or Annihilator, but you're forced to go deep into the enhancement tree. Okay. So it seems maybe we'll do that just to change it up. Let's do an improved weapons totem. Why the heck not? That might be fun. So we're going to go resto, but we're going to go improved weapon totems to change it up because we already were going the deep resto path, and I want to change it up a little bit. So what do we really want here is what we really have to consider. Where do we want to start our path, and what's most important? So this maxes out here, that maxes out there. So if we begin here, if we begin in the middle path, we'd be starting with extra mana. That's going to help no matter what you pick. If we start resto, it's going to mana, but for healing only. So in a vacuum, that one's better. Now this one will end at improved weapon totems, which gives us better Wind Fury and Flame Tongue. Okay. Whereas the resto one is going to take us down into Purification. So I kind of like this path. Seems fun to me. So maybe we're going to start as enhancement, even though we're going to call ourselves a healer. So that means that we're going to start, so we're going improved weapon totems, and all of them would eventually use this anyway. So for the next 5 levels, it doesn't really matter. And if you go deep resto, it stops on that. But we would still leaving ourselves open to enhancing totems. Yeah, and they do a lot of healing. So in the middle, we would have a choice between Thundering Strikes. Oh, I really like that. Ghost Wolf, I don't care about that. Casting time of your Ghost Wolf is down? That seems kind of silly. Unless you can use it to fight, so I like this. So we're going to go with this. We're going to increase our maximum mana, because for the next 5 levels, that would improve our power as a healer anyway. So I like that. And let's sell some of our stuff. And then we'll go back and we'll look at all the hunters. We technically need to. Oh, wait, we can build some first aid too. Linen bandies. Okay. Love it. All right.
I can
so
first aid
we're not.
techniques.
We're still a little bit off. We need 3 more points. We can sell to him.
As the wind on the plains, you are always welcome here.
We'll sell our, because the beat stick is 4/4. We're already above that with Scorn's hammer with a one-handed hammer, and we have this cool. I don't care about that. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Okay. All right. Excellent. Now let's go back to. Now we'll look at the Hunter's Path because we got quite a bit to do. All right. So this is Night Elf Hunter Path. Hello, young hunter. So actually, you know what? Let's look at all of them this time and see how they compare. So we're going to duplicate this and let's look at so the Orca Trolls have their own path. We're going to duplicate that. This is going to probably slow down the RAM on my computer, but whatever. Dwarf has, oops, I should have just went right to it. Dwarf has their own path. Okay, and then we'll go out of that. And then we already have Night Elf. Tauren have their own path. Back out of that. We did Dwarf, Orc Troll, Tauren. Okay, so that looks to be it. So we'll just kind of go down the path here. So we don't need this one. So there are 4 paths you can be: Night Elf, Dwarf, Orc Troll, Tauren. So 5 of the 9 races, right? No, 5 of the 8 races can do it. So the ones that can't are Human, Forsaken, and Gnome. All right, so the Night Elf one says, "Hello, young hunter. You look to me like you're skilled enough to handle a beast and train it as your companion. You must see Dazzlar in Dolinar. He can put you on the path to earning a pet of your own." Whereas the Orcs and Trolls says, "Hello, young hunter. You look like you're skilled enough." Is that the same? Yep. They just need to see Thotar at Razor Hill. The Dwarves need to see Griff, Wildheart, and Karanos. And the Tauren need to see Yaw, Sharpmane, and Bloodhoof Village. So then when you complete it, it says, "Yes, it is time, Hunter." Do any of them say anything? "Yes, I do believe you are ready as well," says the Orc and Tauren. "Yes, I believe that it is time," says the Dwarf. And "Yes, it is time for you to begin your training." So for whatever reason, they tweaked that one. All right, step 1 of taming the beast wants you to tame a spider with the taming rod. As a hunter, it is important to remember the responsibility you hold in your hands. Nature is not a power that can be bent to obey our desires. It is one that is to be respected and acknowledged as something stronger than your very existence. You must prove your understanding of this before you will gain the ability to tame an animal to be your companion. Your first task is to take this taming rod. With it, you'll be able to tame a webwood lurker. Tame it and practice your skills as a hunter. So, Orc Tauren a little different. It is an admirable skill to command one's authority over nature. As a hunter, you must strive to learn to use the force and power inherent to any creature of your choosing. Gaining control of an animal is not an easy feat. It is a task that you must undertake with much determination. For your first assignment, take this taming rod and use it to tame a dire mottled boar. You can find them quite close to Razor Hill. Practice your skills in battle with the boar at your side and then return to me. Okay, the dwarfs say, "Hello, young hunter. You look to me like you're skilled enough to handle a beast and train it as your companion." Oh, I went to the wrong one. "Hi there, lad or lass. So you'd be wanting to know how you can gain a pet of your own? Well, let's get started. There's nothing more important than your equipment when it comes to hunting, but we can chat about my new shrapnel blaster some other time. For now, let's focus on something I'm sure you're quite interested in, a pet. The best way to learn is for you to try out several creatures as companions and see what you like. So find a large crag boar and use the taming rod to tame it." And finally, the Tauren say, "As a Tauren, it is important to follow the traditions of our ancestors by fighting mighty creatures. By besting these creatures, we're able to intake their spirits, allowing us to become closer to the Earth Mother. In the same way, taming a beast to fight alongside us helps us become one with nature around us. Eventually, you'll learn to tame a beast of your choosing, but all things take practice and you have much to learn. Begin by taking this taming rod. You must tame an adult Planestrider." So, Spider, Boar, Planestrider. The progress says, "You will learn, and one day you will be a great hunter. Good luck, young hunter. Don't worry, lad. You'll get a few tries before you decide on just one. And practice your skills. Tame the adult Planestrider. And on completion, excellent. You are quite a fast learner. You have done well. I believe you're ready for your next task. I know, you're wondering what's next, aren't you? That's an irreverent little dwarf. Signs have appeared to me from the Earth Mother. You have done well." It's like a fortune cookie. All right, step 2. What will we tame second? The Night Elves will tame a Nightsaber Stalker. The variance of nature is something that can be relied upon. It is predictable in the way that it never remains the same. It is always changing. The tasks I give to you will help you to see and appreciate the vast differences of the creatures you may choose as your companion. Take this taming rod and use it to tame a Nightsaber Stalker, found to the south. Practice your skills as a hunter, then you'll begin to understand the similarities and differences of nature. Okay, the Orcs and Trolls get the advantage a pet affords you against your rivals is duly noted. When you gain control over another creature, you're adding it to your own strength. Your pet must become an extension of yourself. The next task requires you to turn from the land. You will Find the next creature in the waters off the coast across from Senjin village near the Echo Isles. Look for a spirited crab called the Surf Crawler. Use the taming rod to tame it, then practice your skills. Okay, the dwarf will get those crag boars are quite burly. Maybe you'd like something with a little more finesse. All right, then I've got just the thing. South and east of here, you'll find large white cats called snow leopards, just like an elegantly carved rifle. Behind their beautiful exterior lies a powerful fighter capable of doing extreme damage. You'll find them to be much more agile and swift than the boar you tamed. Take this taming rod and see how you like the snow leopard. And the Tauren say, you have a fiery spirit, hunter, readily awaiting your next challenge. Your next task is to gain the companionship of a wolf known as the Prairie Stalker. This creature is swift and fearless. In taking this beast as your pet, you must also take on these qualities. During a battle, you'll learn how you and your pet will become a team. In the end, you must work as one, muscle to muscle. Here is the taming rod. Tame a Prairie Stalker and practice your skills. So, 2 of them will give you a cat, 1 a wolf, and 1 a crab. Okay, with progress, we get understanding the balance between nature and oneself as a way of life for every night elf. We need to practice in order to gain the skills you need to effectively control your pet. Have you tamed a surf crawler? What do you think of the snow leopard? And have you found a prairie stalker? And then upon completion, I see your commitment and that you have understood what I have taught you. Okay? You are a swift learner. You have done well. I feel you've learned enough, I'll grant you the ability to choose any pet of your liking. Nice little foreshadowing. Yes, the Earth Mother believes that you are ready for the next lesson. Okay, 3rd and final of the taming. So for the Night Elves, you have tamed, and this one, at the end of it, you will learn how to tame beasts yourself. You have tamed 2 creatures that inhabit the land. Now you must tame one that soars the skies. Use the taming rod to tame a Strigid Screecher, found west of here. Practice your skills with this mighty owl at your side. When you return, I will bestow you with the skills you'll need to tame an animal of your choosing to be your companion. This creature will face the challenges you face and gain experience alongside you. I will also show you how to call it and dismiss it as you wish. Okay, the orcs and trolls. The final creature you need to tame is one you should strive to emulate, the armored scorpion. It strikes quickly and confidently. To control a force such as this is your fate as a hunter. When you return, I will bestow you with the skills you need to tame an animal of your choosing. This creature will be yours to command. Under your control, your pet will gain experience alongside you. I will also show you how to call it and dismiss it as you wish. Okay, the dwarves. I don't think after level 10 we'll have this much reading all at once like this. Perhaps you'd like a creature that possesses little more than brute strength. The Ice Claw Bear is an excellent companion for a fledgling hunter like yourself and can be found east of Karanos. Here is the taming rod. Try this animal as a pet and see if you like it. When you return, I'll give you the skills you'll need to tame an animal of your choosing. This creature will face the challenges you face and gain experience alongside you. I will also show you how to call it and dismiss it as you like. And the Tauren, to finish off, they say the final task I have for you requires that you tame a creature that inhabits the sky. The swoop is a difficult opponent, but as your ally, you will acquire its sharp attacks and threatening presence. By the will of the Earth Mother, when you return, I will bestow you with the skills you'll need to tame an animal of your choosing to be your companion. The creature will face the challenges you face and gain experience alongside you. I will also show you how to call it and dismiss it as you wish. All right, as progress, I am proud of your accomplishments. Have you finished the task I gave you? Were you able to tame the Scorpid? Have you tamed the Ice Claw Bear yet? You will soon be ready. And then when you complete it, you have learned all I can teach you. May I offer you one more piece of advice? Use discretion when choosing your first pet. Will you choose a creature of the land, the water, or the sky? Whatever it may be, without doubt, your pet will be with you for quite some time. Here you are. I will now give you the power to tame a beast, as well as call and dismiss it as you see fit. Use your new skills with pride. You've earned them. For control, you have learned all I can teach you. It is time for you to take what you have learned here and choose a pet of your own. Here you are. I will now give you the power to tame a beast as well as call it and dismiss it as you see fit. Use your new skills with pride. You have earned them. The dwarf, here you are. I will now give you the power to tame a beast as well as call it and dismiss it as you please. Find yourself a good loyal pet and enjoy the hunt. And finally, the Tauren, You have learned all I can teach you. May the blessings of the Earth Mother guide you in choosing a pet. Here you are. I will now give you the power to tame a beast as well as call it. Dismiss it as you see fit. Use your new skills with pride and honor the Earth Mother. And then finally you get training the beast, which will teach you kind of the sort of the last step. So the Night Elves say, you now have the power to tame a pet, but you must also gain the skills to train it, and you'll learn the beast training skill here. Travel to Darnassus. There you must speak to one of our most revered hunters, Jocasta. She will give you the ability to train your new pet, so make haste. While Jocasta may seem stern, she is always pleased to see another hunter rising through the ranks. Treat her with respect, and she will return in kind. Good luck. Okay, the Horde and Troll say you now have the power to tame a pet, but you must also gain the skills to train it. Travel to Orgrimmar. There you must speak to one of our most revered hunters, Ormac Grimshot. He will give you the ability to train your new pet. You will find him near the Hall of the Brave. Good luck. Okay, the Dwarfs say, you now have the power to tame a pet, but you must also gain the skills to train it. Travel to Ironforge and find the Hall of Arms. There you must speak to one of our most revered animal trainers, Belia Thundergranite. She'll give you the power to train your new pet, so get going, lad or lass. Bella is a friendly sort. You should have no problems gaining her approval. Good luck. And finally, the Moltorin. You now have the power to tame a pet, but you must also gain the skills to train it. Travel to Thunder Bluff. These are all very similar. There you must speak to one of our most revered hunters, Holt Thunderhorn. If he deems you worthy, he will give you the ability to train your new pet. Holt has bested the most powerful and feared beasts of Azeroth and commands many strong creatures of his own. His ties to the Earth Mother are strong, and you can learn much from him. Good luck. And finally, upon completion, a fledgling hunter I see. Yes, I can bestow you with the skills you need to train and guide your pet. Not only will you be able to teach your pet new abilities, you will now be able to feed your pet, as well as revive it should it fall in battle. Remember, always respect the balance and live in awe of nature around you. Now go forth. We shall speak again at a later date. The Hordes say, a young hunter I see. Or Control. Yes, I will grant you the skills you need to train and guide your pet. Not only will you be able to teach your pet new abilities, but you will now be able to feed your pet as well as revive it should it fall in battle. Now go, hunter. We will speak again at a later date. Okay, the Dwarves say, a new recruit. You're on your way to becoming a great hunter, I see. Yes, I can bestow you with the skills you need to train and guide your pet. Not only will you be able to teach your pet new abilities, you'll now be able to feed your pet as well as revive it should it fall in battle. Remember that the key to getting the most from your new pet is to respect it and treat it well. In turn, your pet will be your most loyal friend. And the Tauren. A young hunter, I see. Yes, I can bestow you with the skills you need to train and guide your pet. Not only will you be able to teach your pet new abilities, you'll now be able to feed your pet as well as revive it should it fall in battle. Go forth. May the Earth Mother guide you on your path. We shall speak again at a later date. Okay, so we've covered hunter. So with mage, it's quick. There's only 2 steps for the quest, but same kind of deal with last time. There's 4 versions of each quest. Boo hickey. So get to that in just a sec. Why don't we go get our fishing out of the way? Take a little break here from time to time. So we've completed Druid and Hunter, not the... I mean, at this rate, I don't know that we'll finish them all on this episode. We're going to get as much done as we can. We'll also now be 50. So if we have this... Did I learn all of my... I don't know if I learned all my skills. Maybe we need to do that first. Maybe. I don't remember if we did that. So let's go to our trainer and see if we actually learned our level... our skills. And yeah, we have 1% more mana. Hooray. This is the wrong area. We gotta have tiny little breaks in between all this massive reading. We do need this Call of Fire quest, so we can at least pick that up. Why not? Hear what that says. We don't, and we only have to do 7 sets because we're not doing Paladin or Shaman.
The spirits have guided you to me.
Call of
How
Fire.
may I be of service? Long has it been since you were last tested, adventurer. You have shown patience thus far in your studies, but the time has come for you to learn more. The time has come for you to learn about destruction and chaos. The element of fire is yours for the understanding if you're prepared to pay for it. Seek out Cranal Fis in the Barrens. He lives in a small dwelling north of the crossroads, but be mindful. If you've reached the Night Elf lands, you've gone too far.
So luckily we have Questy for us, but he wants us to go way over there, and we actually are going to do that. We're going to take a break. Well, not a break, but we're going to do it.
Spirits have guided you to me.
So we can learn Flame Shock. This is an expensive spell with 4 silver, but that's a good one. I like it. We're actually gonna go ahead and put it to the side here. It does 21 damage, which is not quite as strong as the Earth Shock, but it also gives us that DPS, the dot on them. So it's actually, of all of these, that's probably altogether it's going to do like almost 50 damage. So it now is taking the place of what we might want. Not too shabby.
Have guided you to me.
No other elemental. We don't get any fire totem ones. We can get flame tongue weapon. So that's another buff. So we'll put that next to our other weapon. But let's already, you can see here how we're gonna have some issues. So it says each hit, it just depends on how long, from 4.2 to 13 extra damage, whereas this increases our attack power by 65. So let's just kind of peek at this for a second and see. So if we cast that on us, our damage becomes 16 DPS. But it doesn't let you unbuff the weapon. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't let us unbuff it. Poop. So we can't. I thought you could unbuff, but oh well.
The spirits have guided.
All right, so we'll take a
may I
piece.
be of service?
I don't know. We'll have to look at what we were naked also. Without that, we can gain the strength of Earth Totem. I like this one as well. So this is yet another Earth Totem.
Ancestors
That gives us
over you.
another option here. So this one though is more offensive instead of defensive. Do we want to buff the team instead with extra attack? So that all depends. Are we full of melee attackers like myself? Do I want more damage or do I want more defense? Kind of could go either way. It just depends on what you want. Yeah, it's real kind of like those are defense, offense, that's slowing. It's kind of depends on where I want it. It's kind of hard to tell. Do I have any others?
Have guided you to me.
Because if
How
so,
may
I'm
I
going to
be
be
of
broke.
service?
No, we get nothing. So luckily we had just enough silver to pay for this. That's good. Alright, so we'll do the fishing next time. Now let's look at our next class, which is Mage. So we're going to look with Speak with Unthua. So let's start with that. Speak with Unthua. Okay. We're also going to duplicate this because, like I said, we have actually 1, 2, 3, 4. We also have Speak with Bink. Okay. Speak with Bink. Okay. Then we also have Speak with Anastasia. So there are 4 modes to this, which that's a horde one, and then the 4th one is Speak with Janaea. The only good thing is, unlike what we just did, this is only a 2-parter. So it does unlock, for instance, Mage-tastic Gizmometer or whatever, which is the second quest. There's basically, and it also unlocks Mirror Lake. Weird. I see. So they kind of have some cross. So for instance, let's say we did Speak with Anastasia, which is let's say we did Speak with Janaea. That's the human one. It unlocks Mirror Lake, but it also unlocks Mage-tastic Gizmometer or whatever. So you could actually do each path. You can only do one path, but like you could also crisscross. You could go from human, but then finish it in I think in gnome. I don't know. All right, so being an undead or troll mage, if you decide to start in Orgrimmar, you'll pick up Speak with Unthua. So remember, these are mutually exclusive paths, but maybe there's crisscross. Okay, so it says Unthua, the tribal mage of Senjin village, detects a disturbance in the magic currents of Durotar and asks for aid. Speak with Unthua and do what you can to help him. Do this, and in time further secrets will be revealed to you. So speak with Bink. This is for gnomes, but humans could pick this up also. Bink, my gnome colleague in Ironforge, sends word. She has a task that needs doing and won't rely on anyone but a mage to do it. Are you that mage? If so, then speak with Bink. She spends her time in the Hall of Mysteries in the Mystic Ward of Ironforge. Now, Anastasia is the Forsaken. Anastasia Hartwell has a task for someone of your talents. Speak with her in the magic quarter of the Undercity and prepare yourself for your first task for the mages of the Forsaken. So this is like your breadcrumb into the capital, specifically for your class, which will also show you the portal room. And speak with Janaea for humans. We mages have a task that needs doing, one that is vital to the safety of Stormwind and Elwyn Forest. Janaea Cannon has the details. She studies in the Wizard Sanctum in the Mage District of Stormwind. You should make your way to her with haste. Okay, and on completion, hail. Praise to you for my call. For aid is now answered. Let us hope you are up to the task. Oh, I can see you have promise. Yes, you do, but it takes more than promise to be a good mage, and if you're not a good mage, then you're a bad mage, and bad mages are just part of the problem. Yes, they are. Oops, I'm getting ahead of things. Let's begin at the start. Okay, Anastasia, greetings. You were wise to answer my call, and wiser still if you heed what I say next. And you have been sent to aid me in my task? Good. It is heartening to see young mages eager to help on our cause. What cause, you ask? In time, young one, you shall know. In time. So that's it. This is really not a hard one. Okay, so the Trolls task, which can be Forsaken, goes to a quest called Juju Heaps. Now, maybe you can do both. I don't think you can, though. It says like either one will unlock this, but I think these are mutually exclusive. I'm pretty dang certain they are. So, I was just kind of looking. I think you could complete it on either thread, but I don't think, for instance, if you do Juju Heaps, that you can still do the Belnir Farmstead. I don't think so. I haven't seen it on my quest because I do have a mage and he's done both starting zones and he's past level 10. I didn't see it, but the goal is to this will get you either your first offhand or your staff. The offhand is only a 1 spirit, but you can every half hour use it as a mana potion, whereas the staff is a nice intellect spirit staff, generally better unless you're already using a one-hander. Okay, so for Juju Heaps, the Warlock Zalazane of the Echo Isles has disrupted the normal flow of magic in Durotar. He does this through tainted fetishes, Juju Heaps, which he has placed among his huts on the main Echo Isle. These heaps corrupt our wildlife and give power to the warlocks and infernal creatures that lurk in the land's dark corners. You must destroy the Juju Heaps before the flow of magic is forever altered. You must hurry, destroy the Juju Heaps. I sense that Zalazane's Juju Heaps were destroyed, and with time and luck, the flow of magic in Durotar will return to normal. A great deed you have done for your people, and you've shown your worth to us, the mages of the Horde. Okay, now Bink will let you do Mage-tastic Giz Monitor. We mages do more than just waggle our fingers and make pretty sparks. We control magic, the base fabric of the world, and that takes great care and resolve and knowledge, so much knowledge. One of my devices, the Mage-tastic Giz Monitor, collects and stores that knowledge in huge amounts, but it's lost. When we fled our home of Gnomergon, I left it in a chest in one of our huts outside the city, and now the place is crawling with leper gnomes. Please retrieve my Giz Monitor. Did you find the Giz Monitor? I must have it before its energy supply runs out. Oh, splendid day. When I made the Giz Monitor, I never realized how dependent on it I would become. Now I can begin my studies anew. Thank you. And here, these were my first tools as a mage. They're a little scratched, but they're well tested. Take your pick. I'm sure you'll find either of them useful. So remember, it was Lay Orb or Lay Staff. This one is an Arcane Orb or an Arcane Staff, but they do exactly the same thing. So the Forsaken will go to the Belnir Farmstead. The Plague Lands to the east are an aberration. Devised by the Lich King, they spread their magic into the soil, corrupting and killing all that live. Although there is a certain charm to the destructive forces of the plague, we, the mages of the Forsaken, believe it is unruly and must be curtailed. But first we must measure how far it is spread into Tristful. Go to the Bolnir farmstead in eastern Tristful. In the garden are flowers, snapdragons. Gather these and return. Do you have the snapdragons? That breed of flower is highly receptive to magic energies, and studying the snapdragons so close to the plague lands can tell us if the plague has entered Tristful Glades. Fine specimen this is. I'll send it to be studied by our apothecaries to determine the extent of the plague land's taint. Well done. For your services, I present to you this choice, an orb or a staff, whichever you choose, you'll find it quite useful. And you get the same as the gnomes, the arcane orb or staff. And finally, if you go the human path, you'll do Mirror Lake. The world has been victim to massive mystic struggles which tore magic currents from once stable channels. We struggle to determine the effects these changes have caused, and some of us fear the worst. But I will reveal more of this later. Right now we need you to gather information. Here, take this flask, go to the base of the waterfall at Mirror Lake, southwest of the Stormwind Gates, and retrieve a sample of the water there. Return it to me so that I might test it for magical taints. Do you have the sample? The flow of magic in Stormwind and Elwind has been altered, and I must know if it is seeping into the water. Thank you. I will test this water for magical properties. Let us hope that it contains none, or we may find that those who drink from Mirror Lake for too long will be adversely affected. Here, take this orb or staff as a token of your service. May it serve you well. Lay orb or staff just like the trolls. Okay, so there's nothing until 15. So remember, at 14, we'll do some druid stuff. At 52, hunter. At 15, we have another small chain for mages. Paladins, we don't have to do because they only had the one at 12. They don't get anything else till 20, and we already did it on camera. So now we're going to look at priests, which just get one quest, but each race gets their own. So we only have one quest to read, but we have to read every single version of it. Now, the rogue is really going to get us shaman. We don't have to do because we'll do it on camera. And yeah, warlock will be a little tough. Same thing with warrior. So this will be, I don't know that we're going to get through all of them today, but we'll make a good college try, and we'll get through as much as we can. Okay, so remember I said we were at 16 DPS with the buff. So without the buff, we are at 11.3. So it is almost a 5-point DPS increase. Whereas if we look at Flame Tongue weapon, it doesn't tell you, it just says based on the weapon speed. Slower weapons are more per swing. So this is an extra 4.2. Now, we only swing 2.7. Maybe that's once, basically almost every 3 seconds. So you basically have to divide this by almost 3. I don't think it's better. In general, I don't think Flame Tongue weapon is better than Rockbiter weapon. Now, when you'd want to use it is maybe in a dungeon, because Flame Tongue doesn't add extra threat, whereas Rockbiter ratchets up the threat big time. So you do have to consider that, I suppose. Alright, so we'll do a little fishy poo now, because we got to get to level 50 on our fishing. And yeah, we've done... I mean, we have 2 we don't have to do when we finish 3. So we've done 5. We've covered 5. We still have 4 to cover as far as classes go. So if we do... We're getting close. I think once we finish priest, we're basically about halfway done. 10-pound mud snapper, baby. They don't even sell for that good. You can just hold it in your offhand. Maybe for pictures. That's like literally what they're for, like RPing. Like maybe some kind of fishing contest. Like that's it. I do think there maybe is a recipe that you can do with them. But I don't know if it's in... I think that's like a Wrath of the Lich King thing. We'll look it up. Why not? So, yeah. 48. We're getting there. No news. Everything the same. I'm not going to dive into it. No news. My life is in limbo still. Okay, so boom, we're right there. That was a nice fishing. I want to look up this 10-pound mud snapper, but I don't think you get anything from it. Objective of no outfit comments hunter weapon. Gross. Battle axe in one hand and a fish in the other. This other person says, I don't know, but I feel like I fight better when I have it. All right, so let's look at the priest. We're going to look at their desperate prayer. So all you get at level 10 for the priest is you get your race-specific spell. So we'll start with desperate prayer. We want the quest desperate prayer. Dwarves or humans can pick this quest up. And as you can see, here we're seeing it picked up in Darnassus. So that's interesting. But it doesn't matter because your thing is based on your race, which one you get. So you could pick this up in Darnassus, in the human lands, and whatever. So Elune bless you, good human or dwarf. I hope your light finds you and protects you well this day. One of your priests was here not long ago looking for you. He mentioned you returning to the Cathedral of Light as soon as possible to speak with High Priestess Lorena. It seems you've done well to garner such attention. I wouldn't spend too much time here. Your people have need of you. I'm glad you've arrived. There are many things we'll have to discuss, but more importantly is your training in the ways of the light. There are lessons all servants of the light must learn. If you're ready, we'll begin discussing some of those, and they just teach you desperate prayer. So that was the first one, but if you look, there are a few. Like if you pick it up in Stormwind, you've caught the attention of our superiors. They've asked you to travel to the Cathedral of Light in Stormwind as soon as possible. Apparently they feel you've proven yourself already and are prepared to further your training. Now the second half is the same. When you get there, find High Priestess Lorena. She'll be able to guide you further. Good luck and may the light be with you. This is if you picked it up in Karanos or whatever. Time's come for you to head to Stormwind. High Priestess Lorena in the Cathedral of Light wants to speak to you. Got to be something really good or really bad for the High Priestess to want you there personally, but I'm guessing you've only done well for yourself, and it's a good thing that she wants to speak to you. But don't waste too much time around here. I'd head there as soon as you can. Now, look at these others. Why is there a fourth? So that's as if you just straight up go there. You've done the light a great service by becoming a shining example to those who travel in these dangerous lands and beyond. Please accept this lesson as a thanks for all you've done. So that's if you don't even take a breadcrumb. What's this one? This is if you pick one up from a trainer over here just a short time ago. So they're all over trying to give this to you. One of your priests was here looking for you, human or dwarf. He said that if I were to see you, I should direct you towards the Cathedral of Light. He said it was very important, but I would not be overly concerned if I were you. His demeanor seemed positive as though it were good news. Wouldn't take too long in making my way there if I were you. Elune be with you, good human or dwarf. It's just crazy how there's so many versions of getting this quest. If you got it at Ironforge instead, you're needed in Stormwind. The High Priestess there, Lorena, says it's time for you to prove you're worthy of the next level of your training. Don't waste too much time finding your way there. You can find her in the Cathedral of Light in the center of the city. Give her my regards. Prove how worthy you are of such a calling. May the light be with you. Yeah, see, they're all the same completion, basically. You get the gist. The last one is if you got it from Darnassus itself. Praise be to Elune and to your light. About this time, many of our order learn abilities reflecting their faith in Elune. If knowledge serves me, I believe the same holds true for your order also. When your business in Darnassus is complete, I would seek out one of your high priestesses for further training. Okay, so Hex of Weakness. Let's take it another direction. So that's if you're a dwarf or a human, you get like it's basically a flash heal. It's that last one. It's pretty solid. I have to answer this. I made a big mistake where I sent out a mass work email today to over 1,000 people, and it was for something that we have to do tomorrow. And I said tomorrow in the email, tomorrow, Wednesday, April 4th, we're going to blah, blah, blah. Tomorrow is April 3rd. So I've now received tons of emails back like, well, tomorrow is the 4th. Like, yes, I had a typo. I'm sorry. All right, so we need the quest. So this is troll only, but of course, every place can give it to you. So, hacks of weakness is what the trolls get. It be time for you to meet. So this is if you get it from Razor Hill. With Urkio, he be in the Valley of Spirits in the Orc City. Go there and speak to him. It is time you learn more of the old ways of our kind. It is time you be brought into the circle and made a true priest of our tribe. Good. You be here now. We can start you in the start your training in the old ways with hacks of weakness, which just weakens them, so they don't heal or hurt as much. Okay. If you're in the Undercity, return home, young troll. Your spiritual leader, Urkio, begs you to return to him and speak about the path you travel. Go to the Valley of Spirits in the great horde city of Orgrimmar. You will find him there. Okay. Then, if you pick it up in Orgrimmar, I sent here to make sure that you not wander too far from home. They sent me to make sure you return home because Urkio, greatest of our priests, wished to speak to you. You go there. Go to the Valley of Spirits in the Orc City, and you speak to Urkio. He waits for you now. But you're picking this up, it looks like, in Orc, so I don't know what the deal is with that. This one, same deal. This is if you just skip the breadcrumb. You would do well to pay heed to this lesson, young one. The Hex of Weakness will be a great boon to you in battle. Later, I will have tests for you to further yourself and prove your worth to the tribe. And if you... I don't even know. It always warms my undying heart to see priests from all cultures wander the world, to know that power exists that is not arcane and well within our grasp. That's why it's my honor to direct you home. Urkio, your great priest in Orgrimmar, has asked for your presence. You can find him in the Valley of Spirits. Maybe that's if you get it from Undercity. I don't know. All right, so we have 3 more. Returning home. Let's look at returning home. Okay, so this is the Night Elf level 10 quest. So if you get it in doing Morog. Hello there, laddie or lassie. Good to see you traveling far and wide to search to distant lands. No offense meant, but a lot of your kind don't take well to these cold climates usually. Glad to see you're made of tougher stuff. Not too long ago, one of your priestesses was in here looking for you. Said something about finding a priestess Alethea in the Temple of the Moon back in Darnassus. Said it was important, and you should head back there soon to learn Star Shards. So it's an AoE damage for priests, very rare. So whether you like that as a priest or not. In Teldrassil, hello again. I know you've been busy aiding our people, but you must take some time for yourself also. Priestess Alethea sent someone here looking for you. It seems that you've caught the attention of our elders, and they feel you're prepared for greater things. Head to the Temple of the Moon in Darnassus and look for Alethea there. She'll be waiting. Good luck, and may Elune be with you. Oh yeah, the completion is wonderful. You've returned. It always pleases Tyrande and myself when those we've trained to go out into the world and return to us safely. How have things been with you? Does Elune still bless your travels? Perhaps after we speak more about the business at hand, you could tell me more of your travels. Okay. Ironforge, greetings, laddie or lass. Good to see you here in our great hall. Is a blessing be on you and your kind. While you were traveling through our lands, a priestess of your temple came here seeking you. She said that you were to return to the Temple of the Moon as soon as possible. I'm sorry I can't tell you more, but it did sound important. When you get to the temple, speak to a priestess, Alethea. Very repetitive. This is why it's tough to cover every quest. A priestess, this is in Stormwind. A priestess recently visited our halls seeking you out, young night elf. She said that she was on a mission to find you and that you should return to the Temple of the Moon in Darnassus as soon as possible. When you arrive, seek out a priestess Alethea. She'll tell you more. The light be with you. And you as well. And if you are in Goldshire, yes, hello, I'm glad you stopped to talk for a moment. You are far away from home at such a young age. I admire such ambition. I wish when I was younger I could have mustered the courage to travel the world. There was a priestess of your order here looking for you not too long ago. She said it was very urgent you return to the Temple of the Moon in Darnassus and speak to Priestess Alethea. It had something to do with your training. I wouldn't dally too long if you can help it. Okay, so we have 2 more. Stars of Elune. I don't know maybe that's just, I see. That's not going to be a big one because that's only one that is only if you never left. Instead of returning home, you get this one. You've proven yourself worthy of Elun's attention. If you feel you're ready, I would very much like to teach you one of her spells and unique to our people. So that's cool. That's one less than I thought because those two go together. And then Touch of Weakness is the only other one. I'm guessing this is going to be Forsaken. It's got to be because that's the only thing we haven't done. Right. So this is Undead Priest. This is probably going to wrap it for us today. All right. So you need to go to the Undercity if you're undead. You be far from home out here in Bloodhoof Village. I be sent here to find priests of my own tribe to send back to speak to our leaders, but that not mean I cannot help you too. I hear word that your head priestess spirit want all Forsaken to come to her. There are things you must learn. Go to meet Aelthalisti in the war quarter in that city of yours. Ah, good. Another has arrived. Time may not matter to me, but to you it is of the essence. There is much for you to learn, and there is much I wish to teach you. You simply must prove your worth. Do that, and you shall be greatly rewarded. And the Touch of Weakness, it causes shadow damage and reduces their attacker. So very similar to the other Horde one. So the only one that actually gives you more healing is if you're a human or a dwarf. Okay. All right, now if you're in Thunder Bluff, Aelthalisti sent word out to all her priests. We are to direct the younger of our order to the Undercity for more training if you truly count yourself, because you go underground there. So you're talking to a Forsaken. Truly count yourself among our faithful, then you should return there also. You can find Aelthalisti in the War Quarter, deep in the Undercity. Okay. In the Undercity, young priest, I'm glad you have returned here. I would teach you a lesson you would do well not to forget. Are you prepared? So that's just if you never left the Undercity. Okay, two more. In Orgrimmar, my respect to you and your kind. I normally teach only those of my own tribe. Your lessons come from Aelthalisti in the city once called Lordaeron. You should return to her if you learn those abilities that set you apart from other faiths. Go to the War Quarter in the Undercity and find your mistress there. So this is them like dabbling and trying to kind of have a pantheon, but it's definitely it doesn't go deep enough. But it was a nice idea. And in Razor Hill, they say you be far from home, priest. You be needed there back in your city under the ground. Your mistress, the one you be calling Aelthalisti, be needing you back there. Like my tribe, there are things you must learn only from her. Don't be staying here too long. You should be heading to the War Quarter as fast as a Zeppelin can carry you. All right, so that took our whole freaking episode, and we're not even done. So what do we have next time? We have to cover. If you look, there's a pretty sizable thing, but these don't like overlap. So this is really not much longer than we've been doing. But we have these different paths. So we have different ways to do these different quests, but they're all essentially a quest line that gets you your dagger. We're going to skip this. We're actually going to do it if we have time. And then we only have 3 quests, but they do have different versions. Especially, so for all 3. But it's getting your Voidwalker. We'll cover that. And then learning your defensive stance and opening up some weapons. This all happens in the beginning, and it really depends on race. It's a completely different story depending on your race, and warriors have a lot of races that you can be. So we did not accomplish any quests today. This was really a review. I guess we'll go cook some of our meat and then go to the inn, and then that's it for us. But this was something that we needed to do, and considering I haven't been reading to you guys lately because I've been busy. I guess that's just fine, right? All right, we're gonna get 2 more. Remember, we need to get to 50. And cook a Kodo meat if we buy some spices.
Hail. Go.
So we will also cook a Kodo meat. Oh, we can sell this big old mud snapper too, because I looked it up and there's nothing. Only 8 copper. It's all you get for it. I'll keep that meat. We'll keep that. And then I guess only other thing we could do is look at our leatherworking. So First of all, yeah, we'll make another light leather. That'll buy us a little bit of time. Again, we don't need the pouches. We'll just kind of look at what we have. So, the cloak, remember, our Demon Scarred cloak is much better. We can't really see it. That's Wolf Hell. Starting at the bottom, we already did the vest. It's actually what we're wearing. The boots are 31, so that's a small upgrade. 3 points. Bracers are 21, that's actually worse. The pants we don't have enough for. So even though they're a small upgrade, we don't have enough. The belt takes 6. We do not have enough for that, even though that's a big one. So let's do the boots. Why not? So we need to buy 1 coarse thread, and then we can level up our boots.
Looking for something special?
These boots were made for walking. That's just what we'll do. So it's only going to be a 3-point upgrade, but 3 points is 3 points. So let's go ahead and put on the hand-stitched leather boots. They match our outfit a little better. And we can use one of our patches on them so we don't actually go down in armor for switching to them. Great.
Greetings, traveler.
Boots. Oh, we're so close to getting what we need for this mud snapper. Alright, so now we'll go to the inn and log out. Next time we should be able to start questing a little bit. But really what we want to do is make the journey. So as we read, we'll kind of read and walk over. We want to make the journey to learn our fire before anything else. We want that call of fire because we want our second totem, which will be fun. Alright, so now we have another episode in the pipe, 5x5. Thanks everybody so much for watching, for listening, for tuning in. You all rock. You know you rock. And I will see you all next time on Lore of Warcraft.